Tamil Nadu's 2026 battle no longer is just about votes. In fact, it's looking like the campaign has now turned AI entirely. I wonder if any more political parties will indulge in actual footwork to campaign, because AI to the rescue. Actor politician Vijay Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam. In fact, actor Vijay's party, TVK, Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam, has taken the fight into the world of artificial intelligence now. The party has released an AI-generated video of DMK founder and former Chief Minister CN Annadurai praising Vijay as the rightful heir to the Dravidian movement. Basically, in that video, Annadurai seems like he is blessing Vijay. The recreated Anna is heard saying that just like in 1967, Vijay understands the hunger of the working class and deserves to be the next chief minister. He's even shown applauding Vijay for drawing inspiration from Periyar. For TVK, the calculation is of course clear. In 1967, Anna rode to power with the youth. In 2026, Vijay himself, a superstar with a massive young following, wants to claim that very mantle. But for the DMK, Annadurai is not just a founder, he is their soul. To see him digitally resurrected for a rival has really triggered fury. The DMK calls it theft of their identity and emotional bond with voters. Ironically, only last year, the DMK itself used AI to bring back M. Karunanidhi on its Diamond Jubilee stage, seated beside MK Stalin, blessed his son's leadership. In fact, the Election Commission has now made it clear that AI content must be labelled as AI generated or digitally enhanced during the Model Code of Conduct. Any manipulation or misleading AI clips will be pulled down immediately, and they could attract a fine as well, or whatever kind of penalty that the EC could levy. At the heart of this controversy, of course, is a struggle here. TVK, Vijay's party, trying to inherit Dravidian legacy, and the DMK is determined to guard it. At least Annadurai's blessings I have. That's precisely what Vijay is trying to project. AI, of course, is now stepping firmly into campaign trails. We're looking at Bihar, what we saw where the Congress had put out an AI video of Prime Minister Modi and his mother, which didn't go down too well. A case, FIR has been filed against that. Here we're looking at another case where Vijay his party has put out another AI video. It shows Annadurai, the DMK's founder, blessing him, who's floating a new party and hoping to win. The big question, of course, AI scripting our leaders back to life. Is this really time now for the line to be drawn? Should there be stricter rules and regulations on how AI can be used in political campaigns, or is this just politics 2.0, where everything is fair in love, war, and politics? All right, let me bring in our panelists joining us for a little more to give us a little sense on what this really means for the TVK and the DMK. Of course, it is very interesting to see that the TVK, which is a new party, Vijay as an actor is successful. Will he be successful as a politician? He's of course trying to inherit the legacy of Annadurai. Let me cut across to Jagadishwaran, spokesperson of the TVK. We have Advocate C. Rajshekaran, political analyst and President, Voice of Tamil Nadu. I'll start with you, Mr. Rajshekaran. We're looking at that AI video here that's been put out by the TVK that shows Annadurai blessing Vijay. And it clearly looks to us that Vijay is now trying to claim the legacy of the DMK. The DMK is currently in power, and they have refused to come on the show. They say we don't care to comment on this. This means nothing. It's cheap tactics, precisely the words the DMK has used. Why don't you give us a little sense on what Vijay is trying to do here? He has no real ideology of his own, but he's borrowing from the DMK, the party that's in power.
Nabila, I partly agree with the DMK's point of view, and AI has taken over the whole world now. The present scenario clearly establishes AI is the future. So using AI and bringing leaders, political leaders, and speaking in favor of their own party has become a new norm of the current situation in this country. Example, It was started by existing political parties to bring their leaders as their icons and bless the present leadership, where Mr. Karunanidhi was brought in as a AI figure, and he came and sat next to MK Stalin, the chief minister. Likewise, every party. But here, interestingly, the Election Commission of India has to take cognizance, and they have to make a new amendment or a rule or a guideline with regard to the AI technology being used and for campaigns, for advertisements, for political parties. See, using leaders of a political party or their founders to another rival political party has never happened in the past. Of course, they would say that we have got the blessings. Now, since AI technology is come into action, we are able to see, we are able to witness the live videos. There, it is little difficult for the people to take it as AI generated because it reaches the masses. And Vijay, being an actor, using these kind of cinematic theatrics methods to convince the people and bringing Periyar, bringing Anna, and bringing MGR or bringing other leaders as his own party icons and say that they are blessing him. It is stepping overboard, asking for too much. Anyway, it is up to the political parties concerned and the leaders the past leaders whom they worship or they follow are being taken away or being stole, as rightly told by DMK, is a new kind of political approach and campaign which the election commission now has to step in. It is high time some kind of rule is being uh, put forth and an advisory is being sent throughout all the political parties uh, because of the rapid or the technological influence, especially the AI, which is being the future of the world uh, and other areas of whatever
If you think this is
the
fair, sir.
political. No, it is not. I don't want to pass judgments. See how people take it. I don't see much of people understanding. The younger generation may get influenced, but generally the vote share, the vote bank of each political party is intact. But the new generation, which is always in their mobile phones and the technology, may get some kind of trigger point or may get some kind of attraction towards these kind of AI generated videos, and they will also share it in the social media, and all this stuff can happen. This is all too hypothetical whether to accept it or it is wrong or right or it can be accepted or it can be rejected. All this has to be taken into account by the Election Commission of India
So
because
you're
it is
saying it's
related to
unethical.
AI.
Basically, crux of it is that you're saying this is unethical. As simple as that.
I,
If I can bring in
I, I would
TVK.
say it is the prerogative of each and every political party, whether it is new or old, to formulate their own kind of ethics and morality in campaigning. And now this is crossing the limit. It may lead to some kind of confusion and catastrophic situation in the future also in the minds of the people, of the voters.
Let me quickly cut across to Jagdish, who's a TVK spokesperson. Jagdish, the claims are that this is unethical. DMK has refused to join us, saying that we don't even care to respond to this because this is cheap tactics. But would you believe that the TVK is trying to rely heavily on the DMK's legacy because you have none of your own? You don't have an ideology and it's hard for you to come up with something now? Or at least you believe not having an ideology, but you're borrowing one, clearly.
To start with, I was the spokesperson. I'm no longer the spokesperson of the party. I'm a political analyst. So coming to the discussion now, I would say when last year when TVK's flag was launched, there was also a TVK's party song, which is probably an ideological song, and there were caricatures of Aringaranna as well as MGR was used, and there were no issues for DMK or ADMK or any other party. And again, in the recent days, you can see Vijay as well as TVK is again and again quoting 1967 and 1977, which means that is the year, election year, where Aringaranna won for the first time leading DMK, and 1977 was the year where MGR won leading ADMK. So he's saying that same history will repeat, making him the CM for 2026. And this has been repeated in various stages.
We seem to have lost his connection there. If I could bring in our legal expert to give us a little sense on how AI can be used, how far should it be used, where basically one should draw the line. Pawan Duggal, who's also a cybersecurity expert and an advocate with the Supreme Court. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Mr. Pawan, do you believe that AI is really changing the course of Indian politics? It's for a lot of us, we know that this is an AI video, but we still feel emotional and sentimental. It does trigger a bit of and I'm saying for people who know this is AI, it triggers emotion. Imagine for those who do not know this is AI. A lot of them, a large population in the country, do not understand the difference between deep fake and reality. Though this video clearly says it's an AI video when it's put out, but who knows how many people know the meaning of AI as well. Is this ethical? Can this have legal repercussions?
Clearly, we need to understand that today, India does not have any dedicated law on artificial intelligence. So consequently, the only laws that are available with us are the Information Technology Act 2000 and, of course, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Now, once a video like this is made, and once a disclaimer or a declaration is made at the beginning of the video that this is an AI video, then the creators have done their due diligence. Had the initial disclaimer not been there, clearly such video can definitely be seen to be a forged electronic record, could be seen to be guilty of identity theft, of cheating by personation, by using a computer resource, which are offenses under Section 66C and 66D of the Information Technology Act 2000, punishable with 3 years imprisonment and fine. But the scenario is the entire game changes when you put a disclaimer in the beginning. Once you put a disclaimer saying this is an AI generated video, you as a creator have done everything in your power and possession. And that being so, should you be hauled or should you not be hauled is a question that will be dependent on the facts and circumstances of each case. It will also have to be seen whether any complaint is going to be lodged, and if so, can the complaint come within the parameters of the law? Clearly, the entire episode tells us that now the face of Indian politics and Indian electoral ecosystem has changed irreversibly for all times to come. AI will now be the distinguishing factor which will be used by political parties, by political leaders, so as to give the dissemination of their political messages in realistic terms. But the question is, can a mere disclaimer help you get out of the rigors and the rigmaroles of existing law? Well, that's a question that only time will be able to tell. But I believe that the Election Commission of India now needs to come on immediately and come up with specific parameters of how much AI is permissible and how much AI is not permissible. Because unregulated use of AI videos, AI documents, AI pictures can have a massive sway on the way the emotional mind of the voter works. And that being so, AI can distinctively go ahead and influence the results of elections. And therefore, in this scenario, we require clear, specific guidelines. The Election Commission of India is the relevant authority which has got the power to come up with rules and regulations to deal with free and fair elections in the country. Now, since AI and its impact is going to prejudicially affect free and fair elections, the Election Commission of India does not need to wait for another legislative approval from the Parliament in the form of a new law. It can use its existing legal frameworks for the purposes of coming up with clarity on how AI can be used by political leaders and political parties. Also, I think users have a right to ensure and insist that they cannot get duped or do not get duped by artificial intelligence or by deepfake. Hence, we have to go ahead and respect the expectation of the voters, most of whom may not be very much aware of how AI as a technology is moving. And therefore, AI cannot be used as an ammunition for the purposes of prejudicially impacting the minds of the gullible voters who are not yet very well conversant with the nuances of artificial intelligence. The time has come that we'll have to come up with stringent legal frameworks to govern or to prevent the misuse of artificial intelligence. You can't say you will ban AI because AI cannot be banned. But yes, you can, as Election Commission of India, come up with specific parameters that these minimum parameters on the use or misuse of AI will have to be specifically dealt with, observed. And if any party does not go ahead and observe with such AI rules or norms, then they will be deemed to be in violation of the election code, the election law, and appropriate action can be taken. But for that, everything will have to come back to the Court of Election Commission of India. Also, as time passes by, India will very quickly have to come and make amendments to the Representation of People's Act, because now the entire election process is, in any case, irreversibly being impacted by artificial intelligence. Therefore, we must, as the largest democracy in the world, come together and come up with stringent parameters, or that AI should not be misused for bypassing or hoodwinking the election process, the election mindsets of the electoral voters,
Right.
and then come up with a free and fair independent elections. And mind you, we have a history and a historical moment waiting for us. What India does right now in the area of regulation of AI in electoral politics could tomorrow become a benchmarking standard for the world to follow. So all eyes are going to be on the statutory authority, being the Election Commission of India, on the Government of India, on coming up with amendments to the Representation of People's Act. And ultimately, we will have to go ahead and make the users far more aware about the nuances, practical workings, misuse, and abuse of artificial intelligence in the election process. We are all emotional people. We need to be guided and guarded that our emotions ought not to be misused by using artificial intelligence to our own detriment and to deprive us of our valuable right to vote in a free and independent manner.
Before I wrap this right here, final question. We lost out on Jagdishan's connection. Jagdishwaran, you're back. Your final take. What is TVK really hoping for through this video? Do you believe that the crowds in Tamil Nadu will feel emotional towards Vijay because he's being blessed by Annadurai? You'll win hearts through this? Jagdishwaran? All right, terrible connection there, but I apologize to our viewers. Bad connection here. I'm going to wrap this right here. Thanks very much, all of you, for joining us on this. Well, let's see how if this is going to be a game changer for the TVK ahead of elections in Tamil Nadu.